Hi, Jack Canfield here with another segment of Talking About Success. And I'm here with Dr. Veronique Desaulniers, who's written a wonderful book, Heal Breast Cancer Naturally, 7 Essential Steps for Beating Breast Cancer. You've been a chiropractor, a bioenergetic chiropractor. I really love that. And doing holistic health and being in this medical world for 35 years. But I know that 25 years into it, something dramatic happened that changed your life. And the result of it is this wonderful book. Talk about that. What happened?
Well, I was Dr. V, helping my patients heal cancer, heal MS, go through all kinds of changes in their life. And I had a great life, great kids. I was headed to the office, typical day, jumped in the shower, and felt that fateful lump that changed the course of my life and my career.
So breast cancer.
Breast cancer, yes.
Very good, very good. I mean, not very good, but but I understand. I understand. I've been through that with a number of friends. Not a wonderful revelation by any means. So talk about what happened as a result of that.
Well, it was one of those life-changing moments where I knew that if I continued to do the things I always done, then I would get the same results. So I had to do a lot of research, a lot of soul searching, because I was the one who was healing and helping other people get well. So why would somebody like me develop cancer? And that's when I went through a lot of soul searching and came to realize that there were pieces of the puzzle that I was missing. And that's how I came to develop the 7 essential steps, some basic steps that if you follow, you never have to fear cancer again.
So talk just a little about that. Give us some insight into what some of those are.
So very basic and things that people can apply in their everyday life. Essential number one is to let food be your medicine. We know now with the science of epigenetics that just eating curcumin or broccoli sprouts or vitamin C can actually change your gene expression. Very, very powerful. So we have a measure of control of what we eat and how it affects our health.
Let's let,
Essential.
let's stop for a minute because I know a lot of us know what epigenetics means. And a lot of people know that. I think most people think, well, my DNA is what it is, but we now know that there's gene expression and certain little things can be on and off switches. Just talk about that for a moment.
That's right. Your DNA is not your destiny like we used to think. We
Hmm.
now know, as you mentioned, that there are little switches on our genes that can be turned off or turned off, turned on or turned off by our lifestyle changes.
Hmm.
If, for example, we don't get enough sleep, that can turn off our cancer protective genes. If we eat the proper foods, that can turn on our cancer protective genes.
Okay, so we really are playing with the major switches by what we eat. Okay, so that was essential
Absolutely.
number one.
Number one.
What's number
Number
two?
two is to reduce your toxic exposure. You know, we can't live in a bubble, we live in a toxic world, but there's things that we can do to reduce our exposure. Just for example, look what's under your cabinet in your home. You know, the average person is exposed to over 1,000 chemicals in their household cleaners alone. Look at what you put on your skin and inside your body. Just being aware of those things can really reduce your toxic exposure and learn things that can help eliminate the toxins from your body. Simple things like saunas and exercise and sweating and coffee enemas and specific nutrients to cleanse and support the liver.
Hmm.
Essential number three is to balance your energy. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. You're under chiropractic care. Your meridians are properly balanced with acupuncture. Your hormones are balanced. Number four is to heal your emotional wounds. And that's a big one that a lot of people overlook, and I was guilty of that. We're all great stuffers, right? We're fine, we just keep moving, but we don't take the time to really heal our emotional wounds at a deep level. Number five is to look at your dental exposure. Embrace biological dentistry. What you have in your mouth is going to affect your body from a chemical point of view and also from an energetic point of view because your teeth are connected to your organs through your acupuncture meridian system.
So slow that one down a little bit. So what do you mean by paying attention to taking care of your mouth? Give us some examples of what you're referring to.
Well, if you have silver fillings, which they're
Hmm.
not really silver, they're 50% mercury. Mercury is the most toxic element on the planet, and if it's in your mouth, it's releasing methyl mercury vapors, which can be very toxic to your body and suppress your immune system. A root canal, for example, um, can be very toxic and deadly because it's a dead entity. It's a dead organ. It's like having a dead gallbladder or a dead appendix in your body. No matter how aseptic you try to make it, it's still going to release anaerobic toxic bacteria. Statistically, 93% of women who have breast cancer have one or more root canals. So it's a serious matter to look into and to discuss with a biological dentist, a certified biological dentist.
Okay, so I've had all my silver fillings removed, but I do have a root canal.
Okay.
What would a biological dentist do if my root canal is not what it should be? What would happen?
Well, depending on what the dentist's opinion would be, he probably would want to extract it and clean out the socket to make sure that there's no more bacteria or unhealthy tissue that's left in the socket. And keep in mind too that that root canal is connected to a particular organ through the acupuncture meridian system. And in my 30 years of active practice, when I did bioenergetic testing, I always found a dental connection with a diseased organ in my patients.
Wow, that's amazing.
Powerful.
Yeah, very powerful. Okay, so I cut you off. We're up to essential number what now?
That was 5. Number 6 is to repair your body with therapeutic plants and herbs, and that's discovering the specific plants that can actually kill cancer cells. I refer to that as herbal chemotherapy, and supplements that can boost your immune system. And so learning the proper combinations and working with somebody who's very trained in that can really help heal the body. And number 7, lastly, is very early detection. One mistake that I find that a lot of women do is when they've been declared cancer-free, for example, because they've had chemo or radiation mastectomy, they're basically sent home and said, you're okay. But what they don't realize is that there are still millions of cancer cells floating through their body. So it's important to maintain a detection, keep a pulse on your health. And there's technology now that can discover cancer when it's the size of a pinhead. By the time you find a lump or a bump, it's taken 5 to 8 years for that cancer to develop and show up. So wouldn't you rather have that 5 to 8 years time frame so that you can really work with your health and prevent that from getting any worse? And so there are also specific blood tests that traditional medicine does not use that can also detect cancer when it's only a few million cells versus trillion cells by the time it's the size of a tumor.
Wow. This is important.
Very important.
So if you're a woman, you should read this. If you're a man and you know any women, called your mother, your sister, your daughter, your wife, your girlfriend, your secretary, whatever, they should know about this. So I leafed through here earlier today in preparation for this, and I've been someone who's been into holistic health since I was in my 20s, and I'm 70 as we sit here. I found so much valuable information and so many new things I've been learning about, hadn't fully grokked yet, but they're in here. I mean, the amount of research you've done is extraordinary. And I think that anyone, and I think the thing I think too about this is so important. It's not just, oh, if you got cancer, it's the prevention of it. And if all this immune system is working correctly and you're handling all these things we just talked about, it's about total health. It's not just about cancer, it's about any disease that you're going to basically stop yourself from having at some level, I would think.
Absolutely. Those 7 essentials can be applied to any type of dis-ease in the body, not just cancer.
I once had a doctor in an interview tell me there's only 2 things that cause problems in the body: not enough of what you do need and too much of what you don't need. Boiled it right down to that. And I think what you've done here is figured out how to get all the things you don't need out, either out of your diet or out of your body, like the fillings and so forth, and get all the good things in that you do. So I'm really excited about your book. This is called, my wife's reading this, or I'm going to read it and help her do all this and apply some of this to myself. I learned a couple of new supplements I had not heard about. I really want to check into. So this is fabulous. Now, you are committed to empowering women, and I imagine on every level, not just in terms of their health. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's really important to recognize that when you go through a transformation with your health, it's not just a physical transformation, but it has to be a mental, emotional, and spiritual one as well. One of my favorite proverbs, which is the butterfly logo, is just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. And that's really what our transformation is about. When you go through that healing journey, It's about becoming that happier, healthier you on the other side. You may have those periods where it's dark and you're scared and it's, you don't know what the next step is. But if you trust the laws of nature
Mhm.
and you have faith in that and you have faith in yourself and your body's ability to heal, you will come out on the other side a happier and healthier you.
Very good. Well, I'm really excited. I'm glad you exist. I'm really happy
Thank
that
you.
you've done this work. Um, Not happy you got cancer, but at some level grateful that you got it, because we wouldn't have this if you hadn't. And I really appreciate the commitment you've made to helping other people get through this and not suffer unnecessarily and perhaps avoid it altogether. So again, the book is Heal Breast Cancer Naturally: 7 Essential Steps to Beating Breast Cancer. And if people want to, I assume you probably have a website in addition to just be on the usual places like Amazon and so forth.
Yes, I have a great website called breastcancerconqueror.com, and I'm on Facebook, breastcancerconqueror.com, and Twitter and LinkedIn.
Breast Cancer Conquered, past tense. Oh,
Conqueror.
Conqueror.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure I got it right, so I wanted to repeat it to make sure. Breast Cancer Conqueror.
Conqueror. So I chose conqueror instead of survivor,
Yeah,
because when you just survive, you just barely made it through the treatments they've given you. But when you conquer, you take responsibility for your health and you take charge of your health.
I love it. Great distinction. Well, thank you very much for joining me on the show. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Jack.
it very much. Um, get her book, go to her website. This is important information for you and all the people you care about. So stick around. We'll be right back after this.